fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku, and well, a lot of things have happened. Now, Deku, after solving a case, he went to go investigate the disappearance of a lot of people. Now, it's been reported that people over the span of 20 years, they've gone in and out of some woods, some returning weeks after their original disappearance. Now, these people will return with no memory of what happened to them. And Deku, he actually did turn into one of these cases. Deku, whenever he went to go investigate it at night, encountered the alien, where some things happen, and he lost a week of his life, where he did just suddenly wake up in his home. Now, this was very strange, and Deku, he didn't really know what to do or even really what to say. The two found a way to communicate using Deku's quirk and her ability to, well, apparently mentally project. Now, using these two abilities in tandem, they were able to communicate via telepathy. And yeah, a lot of things did happen, and Deku, he eventually did discover the truth. She really is an alien. Now, that was hard for Deku to wrap his mind around, as he did have to go to work and at least give a bit of a report about what happened to him. Now, we do actually have Deku, who he's at work, and he is currently sitting in his boss's office, as the man is trying to ask questions to Deku. So, Detective Midoriya, do you know what day it is? Do you know how much concern a lot of people have had for you? Sir, I am still very confused on everything. I understand that, Detective. However, we had people combing through those woods for the last week trying to find out where you went. Find out exactly what happened to you. And do you know exactly what we discovered? No, sir. We discovered that you have been at home. So, would you like to tell me exactly what you saw that shook you so much you didn't so much as pick up your phone or leave your apartment? Sir, I still don't understand. Now, Deku is very surprised. Okay, so at least he has something to go off of. He's been at home for the last week? That doesn't seem right. How could he have been out for 7 days? Now, the man, he's still staring at Deku. As Deku, he's just trying to think. This must have something to do with her. Detective Midoriya. Yes, your nose. Now, Deku is going to bring his hand up, as he does feel blood running down his face. Now, Deku, he does just stand up and going to take the box of tissues off his boss's desk, as he does at least hold up to his face. Sir, I'm still very confused and everything. You are? Yes. I don't exactly know what to tell you. I just, well, don't remember. You don't? No. I just remember walking through the woods and I'm home. That's it. There was some knocking on my door. and I answered it. I see. Well, we can get you analyzed for something. Hmm? I'm sorry? Do blood test. Discover exactly what might be in your system, and see if it would match up with at least some substances we do have theories about. Now, Deku, yeah, he would be willing to go through with this normally. However, he's just trying to think. He doesn't know what he could have been exposed to. The fact is, he's not dealing with stuff found on Earth. So these chemicals that could be in his body, they are not probably Earth-based. There would be similarities, but the differences, this would baffle a lot of people. If word got out about these strange things, if there are any in his blood, then it could be a disaster. Sir, with all due respect, I believe I'll be fine. In fact, I myself would just like to get back to the case. I do want to figure out exactly what happened to me. And, well, if you would allow it, I'd like to go investigate the area once more. Hmm? Detective, are you insane? No, sir. But I'd like to do it in broad daylight this time. And, well, preferably alone. Detective, are you all right? Yes, sir, I am. I see. Normally, I would allow you to do this. However, I believe that you are still shaken by this experience. Sir? Ah, yes. Take the next month off. We don't know exactly what you may have experienced or what you may have seen. Along with that, it's quite possible that you, yourself, may be blocking it out. I'm sorry? Yes. Reports have come in about some of these people who have gone missing. They have strange dreams, they have nightmares, and about at least a third of the reported cases about them, they are all in psych wards. I'm sorry, sir, are you saying I'm gonna go crazy? I never said that, Mr. Midoriya. However, it's very concerning if my best detective ends up in a hospital, especially a loony one. So, if you do need to, we can give you the number for somebody. Along with that, some time to get your head on straight. You yourself have seemed out of it this entire conversation. Not at all like yourself. Oh, have I, sir? Yes. Now, you were dismissed. Now, Deku does go to stand up, as he's just trying to think. This is all bad. This is all very, very bad. If he's dismissed from police work, what's gonna happen? He has to go back to that woods and find that thing she lost. If anyone ever finds that and they don't know what it is, they'll pull it apart and mess something up. They could, like, do something stupid with it. Accidentally shoot a death ray, or, well, crash a ship. That's even worse. Now, Deku's just trying to think about everything. Okay, so, this is very bad. Now, we do actually have where Deku does go walking over to his desk. And a lot of people, they actually do see him. As Deku does at least have some tissues stuffed up the right nostril. And he is currently grabbing some stuff and putting it into a briefcase. Now, you do actually have where Deku, after putting some stuff inside the briefcase, is going to actually pull it up and lift it. As he does look around to everybody, telling all of them that they need to stop staring at him. Now, you do actually have where somebody they do come walking up. As Deku does turn to look at them. Hello. Detective. It's been a minute. It has. What can I do for you? Well, It's good to see that you're still alive. I understand that. Exactly what do I owe the pleasure? Pleasantries aside, no. We're just glad that you're alive. That's really it. It'd be a shame if this precinct lost their best detective, right? However, I'm still here, so you can just go on and head home. Now, Deku, he knows exactly why this person is being a prick. Him and them, they have a 20-year age difference. If not, probably at least less than that. It's more than 15. But, Deku, he's nearly at their rank. In fact, he has solved many cases and taken down a lot of organizations. Within the first year of his career, he stopped a very notorious gang. He stopped a lot of drug trafficking that they were causing and even helped to clean up some neighborhoods. Along with that, he did actually help stop weapons smuggling and even underground fight rings, getting them closed down. Now, he's even helped to take out at least a high-level mob boss, or at least someone in the criminal organization. So, he's at least gotten enough done to be worthy of those promotions. The person respects Deku a lot. However, it's just the fact that he's so weird and mysterious with how he gets his leads. The guy might be dirty. So, that's what they do at least have on him. The idea that he's a dirty cop. Now, Deku does go to leave as the person to talk about how they'll be handling his missing persons case. I'm sorry? Detective, or should I say, Mr. Midoriya, you are now involved in the case. So, you should be aware that you can't participate in the investigation, since you are now considered not really a suspect, but a victim. I'm not a victim. I was at home for the last week. Because you saw something or experienced something that could have traumatized you? Clearly, it was so bad you didn't respond to calls, you didn't respond to messages, you didn't even answer your door. Isn't that strange? Even I personally went there to try and find you. Did you know? Why, yes, I did. However, no one's seen you there. I even asked your landlord. They didn't see you anyways. They didn't even know you were home from work. Isn't that strange and odd? Along with that, even surveillance footage doesn't show anything. Do you know why? I don't know why. However, I can see your problems with that. It doesn't add up. It really doesn't. Now, would you like to provide anything for the case? I can provide a few words. Eat shit. Deku turning to leave, as the person at least feel a bit more annoyed. Now, Deku he does get back into his car and go to put his address into the GPS. As before he does go to hit enter, he does just try to think. He's not involved in the case, but if he's right, then at least the area is marked off by police tape. He still does have his equipment in his car, and yeah. If he does at least turn off certain settings, the precinct can't track his vehicle. So it technically would be considered a civilian vehicle. Okay, this is more complicated. I should try and find that piece. If I can't find it, then someone else will. Now, Deku, he does decide to do this. As we actually do have where Deku, he does go to clear the GPS and go to put the coordinates back in for the forest. As he does head over to that area. Now, as Deku does do that, you do actually have where he does go to pull out the small patch of pills he does have. And he does look down at them. He probably should take one of these right now. But then again, He hasn't taken them in the last week, has he? From what he understands, with him being in some sort of state, he didn't need them. So, his quirk is doing okay, but he doesn't want it to run rampant again. If that does happen, people might actually start to suspect something about him. He should take one of these to lessen its effects, make it less potent, but at the same time, he does feel a new degree of control with it. He doesn't feel so restrained. Now, Deku decides to put this back into his jacket and just leave it alone for right now, as he does get out of his car once it does arrive. Now, he would take certain instruments out of his vehicle and actually try to backtrack and recreate everything. As you know, where Deku is going to create a 3D hologram of the entire area, where he believes that she was standing, and then where she could have gone whenever they did run off together. Now, everything is put together in a 3D model. Deku chasing her through the forest, and where they do actually collide and go flying off, or at least flying down into the small ditch, where Deku he did lose his flashlight, and he does try to piece everything together. This being where Deku he does at least try to put in something, or at least a small little model that could fit the description of the device she's talking about. It's like a remote, so he does use a model of one of the remotes from his home, as he does try to piece everything together. Now, Deku he does search the area where the 3D model says the remotes could have landed, but it's just that. It's hard. The data could be wrong. The remote could be too heavy, so it could fly farther. So he does need to widen the area of his search. And yeah, Deku does not find anything. And there is even where Deku does use his 3D modeling to backtrack where she could have came from. And he does find many things. All dead ends. And one even quite literally, where he does find a small crevice instead of two rocks. And after heading inside with a flashlight, it's just that. A tiny crevice with no way to get through. So, it's just that. Now, Deku does head home, as he does pick up some food on the way. And yeah, he does walk into his apartment and then go to close the door and lock it behind him. Deku turning to the alien, as she's just sitting there staring at him. And Deku can't really tell, but she looks quite pissed. It's hard to know since she doesn't really have eyebrows. So, Deku trying to reach out with his telepathy. Are you still angry at me? I'll take that as a yes. Well, I tried searching for your remote, but I don't have anything to go off of. Deku walking over and sitting down at the table, as he has to start putting out some food, as he has put a small box in front of the chair across from him, before going to pull out one for himself. Now, Deku does turn his head and try to reach out once again. Are you hungry? Yes. Now, Deku he does just stare at her, as she is going to stand up and walk over. And she has to stare at this small box before Deku is going to do one thing. He does press in with two thumbs and then go to pull the top of it off. And she does just going to do the same thing. Yeah, I don't exactly know what you like, so I got you this. Now, she just stare at what Deku did pick up. Deku, yeah. He just went to a place that it's pretty good, but it's also fairly cheap. So it's more like a fast food. Now, she does just see a few things. She sees a burger and fries, along with even something else on the side. Now, Deku, he does just stare at her. As she just does look down at this food in awe. And she's just trying to look at it and actually try to poke it. What is this? It's food. Oh, it's not jelly? What? Jelly. You know? Her pointing at her mouth. As she's then going to point over towards the sink. Was that the stuff I threw up? Ejected, yes. Okay. That's not too good. But at least I know it was some type of food now. Yes, nourishing. I see. Well, here's some earthling cuisine. You liked what I made for breakfast. But at the same time, before you do eat, I have some questions to ask you. Okay. I'm curious to know what your remote looks like. I tried to find it, but I couldn't. Really? Yes. It, well, was harder than I did think. Along with that, I did also basically just get told that I'm fired at the moment. You're not in flames. That's not what that means. What did you just do? That is called a facepalm. No idea what that means. You know what? I'm gonna at least try to teach you a lot of English and a lot of phrases so you can just understand anything I try to say. Because this right now is not easy to work with. Okay. Now, Deku does just go to grab some fries and then go to open the small little container that's inside his box. As he does go to dip his fries in ranch. Now, the alien does just do the same thing, mimicking Deku. As Deku does watch her. Now, she's very intrigued. As Deku just watches the wonder and joy on her face. Fries and a burger. Now, it was pretty funny. Deku did watch her go to pick up the burger and then be surprised whenever it was huge. Her trying to bite into it and then a giant slice of tomato coming out. As she's just going to grab it and then go to pull it out, asking what this was. Oh, well, actually, I think that's a fruit. What's a fruit? Um, well, it's a fruit. Uh, yeah, I don't really know how to explain it to you. Just know that that is something you can put on that, or you can remove. Oh, cool. So you know what that means? I think so. Did I use it correctly? I mean, I want to think so, but I'm not too sure. Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, neither do I. Anyways, we can just work on that later. For right now, let's just eat. By the way, I'm curious. I don't really know what to call you. Do you have a name? Oh, uh, yes. However, my name can't be pronounced in your language. I see. Well, to be honest, I don't really know too much about you. However, I do know you're an alien. Oh, so you know that much. Yeah. I tried to look in your head earlier, and you forced me out. I only saw some brief pictures or images, and it was just of your planet, along with space. I don't know what else to say. Was that all you saw? Hmm? Yeah, I just saw 2 or 3 pictures. Space, your cities, and your planet. Okay, good. Hmm? Why? Nothing. It's nothing. Okay. Anyways, I'm curious. Does doing what I did earlier is some form of, well, what is it? Does it mean anything to you guys, or is it nothing? Um, well, it does signify a bond of sorts. A bond. So, a connection. I believe so? Hard to tell, really. Ah, you're still having trouble with English. Okay. Now, Deku is just going to bring up his fingers. Bond. As he just poke them together. And she just stare at him. As she just ask him what he's doing. Ah, okay. Now, Deku, yeah. He does just let this go. As he just continues to eat his burger. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.